Aye! 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 Friends, Romans, beer lovers, Corinium Ales first anniversary today. Join them at the market with the mayor for cake and beer at Cirencester Farmers Market at 11 o'clock. God save the Queen!
This is Geoff Carr with Lucy Caudry at the Farmers Market. Lucy, why is November 2013 a significant time for Corinium Ales?
We are 1 year old, which is just brilliant to have got this far. It feels a bit longer, mind you. We feel a bit older in 1 year, but it's gone so quickly, and it's been such a fantastic year.
I expect there's been some highs and some lows this year.
Yeah, there's been a lot of. It's been an interesting year, really quite challenging at times. We've learned a lot, but it's been really enjoyable, a lot of fun. I'd say the highlights are winning 2 awards. We won 2 awards this year. We won the Cotswold Life Food and Drink Product of the Year Award for our Centurion Stout, and we also won silver at the Camera Beer Festival in Gloucester for our Ale Caesar IPA. So we're very pleased about those. We also had a great time in the summer at the Phoenix Festival that was run this year. We had a little Roman chalet, and we sold out. People were very, very thirsty for our beer, so that was brilliant. So we're going to be there next year. And the other thing that happened was it was so exciting on the 2nd May bank holiday, because we actually got our beer into 3 pubs in Cirencester, and we pulled our first pint behind the bar, which was very exciting, quite nerve-wracking, but really, really exciting.
So what about those challenges and those lows? What's the things that have made you scratch your head and think, is this really worth carrying on? What have those things been?
Yeah, well, I think the weather, actually, this might sound a bit strange, we're always moaning about the weather. I mean, we had a lovely summer, not knocking that at all, but it did play havoc with our beer. Particularly our Gold. She got very, very lively. So we had a lot of yeast, because all our beers are bottle conditioned. So they do a secondary fermentation in the bottle, and the yeast seemed to be fermenting for longer in the bottle. And of course, when it ferments, it creates carbon dioxide, so that had nowhere to go. So when you opened the bottle, it was like a bit of a eruption, a bit of a volcano going woo. And of course, it brought the yeast up, and it would, you'd lose some of your beer, and it would take a while for the yeast to settle down. So we've got to work out what we're doing with that, and we've got a few folks and a few other brewers we've spoken to. So for next year, we would have sorted that. And actually, again, I mean, people might go ooh, but we had a bit of a wild yeast infection as well, which can send your beer sour. I mean, some people brew with wild yeast, but if you're not intending to, then it's a bit of a shock. So those are the 2 sort of issues, I guess, or challenges we had this year. But we're learning all the time, and there's a great network of people out there that we can talk to and that have been really supportive. And I mean, everybody has been brilliant. We are so pleased that people really have a thirst for real ale in Cirencester. They've really shown that they do. They come back to the market time and time again and buying more of our beer. And also, we are really proud to be where we are today. You just don't know, do you, when you start something? You just don't know how it's going to go. So it was all a bit of an unknown. And but we've had a very good year, and we're really proud to be bringing brewing back to the capital of the Cotswolds. And let's hope we have another good year ahead.
Well, presumably all the awards and press exposure help, but I would say what really counts is the beer.
Yes, indeed. You can dress it up, you can do all sorts of things, but at the end of the day, if you haven't got that quality and that freshness and that you just know when you've got a good beer in your hand, and we've got to know our beers as well. As the more you brew them, they have their own little sort of personalities. And they do behave differently because it's a live product. So you are dealing with yeast, which is a live product. So we've got to know them over the year, and I think, you know, people when they do try them, they just say, wow, you know, that feels like a proper beer. It's full of flavour, you know. There are lots of beers out there. Some are, you know, very easy to drink, but there's nothing in them.
From a business point of view, those hiccups that you mentioned with the weather, have they made you think this is just going to drive us into the ground financially? Have you thought at any point, this is nuts, why aren't I working in a 9 to 5 with a pension and sick pay and staff development and all those things?
You know what? I mean, I say it now, maybe I'll feel different in a year's time, I don't know. But no, I'd never want to go back to any of that. It's hard work, you know, it's not been plain sailing, and we have had to, you know, get rid of quite a few batches. But that, I'm afraid, is all part of it. And I mean, it is scary because we think how much can we lose? We can't afford to do this if it continues. So you do have to crack these nuts. If you don't, then, well, you're not going to survive. So it's not easy, but nothing ever is it?
And what do you think about the prospects of competition?
Yes, well, it's very competitive. I mean, microbreweries and real ale is having such a revival at the moment, which is great. I mean, it's really good. And, you know, Cirencester, we're seeing a few, you know, there are other folks brewing in and around Ciren. So I think as long as we don't get too greedy, there's room for us all. We obviously want to expand, but we are what we call a half barrel size, a 100 litre unit. We brew the equivalent of 2 9-gallon barrels, which are the barrels you see outside the pubs. We brew the equivalent of 2 of those every time we brew, and we brew 2 or 3 times a week. Now clearly we can't really, the both of us, survive on that, so we need to at least double that. Then, you know, we're only talking sort of 2.5 barrel size, maybe 5 is barrel size is apparently the economic level you should brew at. That you should be able to earn a living. So you can make a living from that. Yeah, as long as you can sell the beer, and then of course the more you brew, the more you've got to sell. And if there are a lot of brewers now in Gloucestershire, in the Cotswolds, you just have to bear that in mind. But you know, we've got our beer in a few different outlets now, and they've come to us. We haven't had to push it that hard. Not to say that there won't come a time when we will, but at the moment it's still very much in demand.
Well, you've done a brilliant job with the branding, and to a certain extent you were also first to market, which counts for a lot. People refer to you because they know your name, and your branding has done a fabulous job because it's all encompassing. Calling it Corinium Ales and the names you've given to your brews gives it a real identity, and people can identify with that, and that must help.
Absolutely. When I did my very short course on startup brewing marketing, they said, you know, spend 50% of your time and your finances on marketing. It is so important. But as I said, you know, you've got to have a good product, because the people that know, you know, they know if you're just dressing something up. So you've got to have a good product, but, you know, market it so that it says that this is, you know, quality, this is, you know, classy, this is, you know, whatever you want it to be. And people love it. They like to see nice things. They like to have good beer on the table. So, yeah.
Well, obviously your awards must have made you feel really proud.
I mean, the first one, the silver we got at the beer festival, at Canberra Beer Festival, was just so out the blue. We were like, what? That is just amazing. And yeah, so happy to get that. And it sort of says to us, you know, I'm going to say the obvious thing, it says to us we are doing something right. You know, when someone gives you an award, you know that you've hit, you know, the right buttons type thing. And then the Cotswold Life Food and Drink Awards, you know, we said, you know, to our customers, well, you might want to vote for us or nominate us. They did, obviously, and we went along to the ceremony in July, and we were up with two other people in the finalists in that category, and they come and film you do a little video and everything, and then they show those videos. It's a bit like the Oscars, you know. And they show these little videos of everybody who's in the finals, and you think, me and Cole looked at him and thought, there's no way we're going to get this. you know, these people have been doing these things so much longer than we have, and they deserve to win. And it's like, but then they go, and it's Corinium Ales with their Centurion Stout. Me and Cole looked at each other and went, "That's us." So we were in a bit of shock. So that was lovely, really lovely. And actually, we got another award recently. There was a third one, not for the beer, but for the labels. There's a Labologist Society, and they run a labelling sort of award every year, and we sent off our labels, and we got best new brewer for our labels. So our designer, our Grant from Smudge, he's happy. A bit of fun.
Well, it's very effective.
Yeah,
it works very well.
Yeah, we're unveiling a new ale. Did I say that?
No.
No. It's a new label, new ale, new name. It's 1AD. So the year, and it's obviously been a great year for us, so our first year. And that was suggested by one of our customers. Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you, Geoff.
Very good.
Yeah, no, it's brilliant.
I hope it goes from strength to strength.
Yeah, me too.
Thank you.
All right, cheers.